Hey yo, what up guys, it's darklordoffire. I'm here today to bring to you a brand new video. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man 2018, a game I've picked up and I've actually played to completion. I have platinumed this game. So I was trying to think of a format that I wanted to do this video in, and this is what I decided upon. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to tell you all the good points, then I'm going to give my rating for this game, and then I'm going to talk about the bad points. Alright, so you guys ready for this? Alright, let's do it. So first off, I'm going to tell you right now that there will be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't played the game yet, click away because I will be spoiling the crap out of a bunch of stuff in this game. So one of the first things I really like about this game is that they brought in at least one or two unknown villains. They brought in Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, and they also brought in Tombstone. And these are two villains that I don't think all that many people know about. They didn't do all that much with Tombstone, but they did a lot with Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, and that was nice and refreshing to see. One of the bigger things about this game that I absolutely loved is that there's two ways that you can defeat every single enemy that you come across in the game. Well, okay, maybe not bosses, but all the other enemy types. You can either beat them with your fists into unconsciousness, or you can get the enemies really close to a wall and then just use your regular web once or twice on them while they're next to the wall, and they'll stick to the wall or the trash can or the car or whatever it is that you're trying to get them stuck to. And while it might sound simple when you're just saying it out loud, unless you've truly experienced like webbing these guys up so effortlessly, you don't really know how fun it is. It's incredibly amazing, and I don't think I can overstate how much entertainment it is to just, oh, there's an enemy flying over my head, oh wait, they're next to a wall, you know, web shot, and all of a sudden they're stuck there. I can't praise that enough. I really can't. In fact, it's so fun that while making notes for this video, I was playing through the storyline of the game and I was making notes for this review, and I actually wrote down the exact same thing about the webbing 3 different times without realizing I had done that. That's how fun it was. It's really noticeable, sticks out, and you just have a blast. Okay, now the music. I like the music. I really like the music. There's not a lot of music in this game. Mostly I find it's just like 1 song or 2 songs, and that's about it. But there's there's lab puzzles in this game that if you go into the lab, you can start working on puzzles. And the music that plays while you're doing that, I enjoy the crap out of that music. I find it relaxing, and it's nice and soothing. And even though I was doing puzzles, I never got stressed out or irritated at any point, mostly because they were easy, but also because it's this nice, calm, soothing music. So that was really enjoyable. The story is great. I love the story. The story to this game does not treat you like, you know, you have no idea what's happening or what's going on. It treats you like you're an adult, like you've been paying attention to Spider-Man comics, and that you should kind of know what's going on right now. I mean, it's not necessarily a necessity, but it definitely acts like there's characters that, like, Peter Parker knows from the very beginning, that if you've never read any of the comics, you might be like, wait a minute, who's this cop person? Or, you know, who's this other person? And so it really helps to have a little bit of background, but it's not entirely necessary. So that's kind of fun. Really enjoyable for newcomers and for veteran fans alike. And my favorite part of the game, absolutely hands down, which is saying a lot, but my favorite part of the game is something that you might not have even noticed during your playthrough. And it's kind of crazy, but when you are talking to somebody on the phone in the game, if you're web swinging, you will have like sounds like you're out of breath, or that you're straining yourself. And when you're just standing on the ground and you're talking to somebody on the phone, your character talks normally, like they're not exerting yourself. And that's something you might not notice unless you're, say, watching someone else's playthrough after you just played that level yourself. You might notice the difference. But it's really interesting that they do that. And I love that they do that. I don't think I've ever played another game where they've done something quite like that. I might be wrong. I play a lot of games, but not that I can think of. And I thought that was totally cool. It really sucked me in. And of course, I did not actually make a note of this because I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. But in retrospect, I gotta bring it up. The visuals are great. Everything looks absolutely amazing. It looks possibly even better than God of War. This might be the best looking PS4 game out right now, which is really saying something because there's some really good looking PS4 games out. But this game, it really looks amazing, and there's weather effects throughout the storyline that really enhance the look of everything. Like when your character's costume gets wet, it actually looks like it's wet, and that's really impressive. It looks really, really nice. Speaking of costume, I really, really liked the costumes in this game. I thought that they were numerous and interesting. I thought that I really liked how they brought back some of the classic oldies. Like, my favorite is Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider. I'm a huge fan of the Clone Saga. I know I'm in a small minority on that. But I love his outfit. I've liked him since the 90s. I thought he was awesome. But they've also brought in costumes that even I don't know about, and I'm an avid Spider-Man fan. Like, they have this white costume with a flaming skull. It's called, like, Ghost Spider or something like that. I have no idea where that costume comes from. I've never even heard of that costume before. I mean, most of them I know, but I don't know that one. So, it's a nice little surprise going through and unlocking all these different costumes, and getting a good idea on the kind of abilities and techniques you'll learn. So, after much deliberation, I think I'm going to give this game a 7 out of 10. Now that I've given my score, I'm going to let that hang on the screen for the rest of the review, and I'm going to tell you why it is as low as it is. These are all the bad aspects of the game, or at least all the bad aspects from my perspective. One of the biggest gripes I have with this game is also one of the most important, and I made a little editorial on this, but I'm going to say it here. I hate the web swinging. I thought it was really bad, and I hate how you basically can automatically swing by holding up on the direction stick, on the left stick, and holding R2, and that's it. You just go forward, and if you hit a wall, you'll run up the wall, and if you fly off the wall, you'll automatically web swing, and then when you get to the edge of your swing, he lets go automatically, and he whips to another building, and I just don't like how that is. I prefer it to be more like Spider-Man 2, where, you know, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, not Spider-Man 2, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where, you know, the R2 controls one of your hands web swinging, and the L2 controls the other web swinging. I really like that. I like that idea. I like how it works, and you also have to let go. I don't like how they did web swinging in this game, and I think that is an incredibly important aspect to this game. Now, for this next one, it kind of relates. Kind of. This game has some serious traversal issues, my bad. Sometimes you'll hit a wall, and your character will, like, try and do a flip off the wall, or like he'll start running up the wall, and then you'll be like, no, get off the wall. So your instinct is to pull left towards the edge of the wall, and instead of like him flying off the wall, and so that way you can web swing in the direction you want to go, he kind of just like crawls along the wall, and it's really difficult and complicated, and it's so infuriating. But this is one of those things that you have to get over if you want to play this game, because it's something that happens so frequently. You just getting hooked on a wall, and then your character just will not go the way that you want him to go, no matter what. I hate how Peter looks. That's it. I said it. That's one of my complaints. I just hate how Peter looks. He doesn't look like he's ever looked before. He looks different and weird, and I just don't like the way he looks. Also, his fashion is terrible. One of the bigger issues I have with the storyline is I don't like Mary Jane. I don't like her at all. I don't like anything having to do with her. Every time she comes into the game, I get really annoyed. And in the comics, Mary Jane is fine. I like Mary Jane. I think she's a fun, interesting, outgoing character. But here, let me give you an example. There are times in the game where she's about to go into a horribly dangerous situation, and she says, "Oh, I'm not going to call up Peter, even though this is an incredibly life and death situation. I'm not going to call up Peter Parker because he might freak out and say mean things to her about being in a dangerous situation." So instead, she's going to put her life on the line instead of getting a lecture about how dangerous what she's doing is. That's stupid. That's incredibly stupid. She doesn't have superpowers. She should not be going into a battlefield. I hate that. It irritates the crap out of me. And if it was some kind of character building they were trying to do with her character, I don't like it. I hate it. I think it's stupid. Non-superpowered people should not be going into situations where a superpowered person should handle it. Alright? I have the same problem with the Flash TV show, and it just irritates the crap out of me. And my final issue with the game also has to do with Mary Jane. I hate that sometimes you switch over to her. Sometimes, randomly, out of nowhere, you will just switch over to Mary Jane and you'll start stealthing the game. She's like, "Oh, I'm not going to call Peter." And then she starts stealthing her way through this level, surrounded by armed men, and she has to get from point A to point B or complete a specific task. I didn't buy this game so that way I could play as some stupid powerless human. I played this game so that way I could feel like Spider-Man. So that way I could go effortlessly web swinging through the town, or through the city rather, and just having an absolute blast. I don't want to do some stupid stealth missions where I can't even take down enemies. She can't even take down enemies until the very last mission of hers, and that mission is actually fun. Just because it's got a bunch of interesting story reveals and she can actually stun people and take them out. Other than that, playing with her is a complete bore. So that is why I chose the score I did, a 7 out of 10. And I think this game had a lot of really fun, really good aspects to it, but the ones I named off are just not good aspects. They affected my score, and maybe I should have gone lower with my score, but I'm gonna hold solid to a 7 out of 10. Alright guys, well I hope you liked my video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you did not like my video, make sure to give it a thumbs down. If you have any comments, make sure to leave them in the comment section below, and subscribe if you guys want more of my content. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace.